But Hashem doesn't give you a test that you can't handle. And the very next morning she wakes up, Tisha B'Av, bad mood, but I am on a high. It's like maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. She's in a bad mood. I completely ignore the bad mood. Why? I found part 2 that works. By the way, most of this time I'm not sleeping, I'm completely losing my mind, but I'm getting the answers finally, Baruch Hashem. In part 2 of Torah and Science, Rav Mizrahi shows something amazing. He shows something called Torah codes, which is hidden mathematical secrets in the Torah of all information that exists. Past, present, and future. We just need to know what we're looking for. Hashem is clearly telling us anything that's mentioned, every letter, every dot, every nikud, every sentence, everything is relevant for eternity. Everything that's written in the Torah is relevant to you. It's relevant to you, it's relevant to you, it's relevant to everyone. Hashem knew you're going to exist when He wrote the Torah. So in this Torah, He also gave us a prophecy, He also gave us a promise that after we make many, many sins, He's going to send us to the 4 corners of the world. And here He says, of Sefer Devarim, Deuteronomy, in chapter 4, verse 27, Hashem will scatter you amongst the people, and you will be left few in number among the nations where Hashem will lead you. There you will serve gods, the handiwork of man, of wood and stone, which do not see, and do not hear, and do not eat, and do not smell. After He scatters us, instead of doing tshuva like a normal person, we get worse. What do? We start doing idol worship, but specific type of idol worship. The God of wood and of stone. Wood, the cross is wood. Every Christian, Catholic, that's their sign. False God of wood. After that, the God of stone. Mecca, Islam. Why? You go to Mecca, there Jerusalem is Mecca. What's in Mecca? It's a big, giant, square stone they all worship. They'll pray to it in that direction. Ishtabach Shemo La'al, Hashem is very perfect. Using Torah codes, which in essence means they're using mathematical equations to have skips between letters to find words hidden within the words within the paragraph. It has to be an equal mathematical skip between each of the letters, because then you can clearly see it's by design. Now we have in this verse, we have a Torah code. First word of this verse in Hebrew is ve'efitz, which means Hashem will scatter. Ve'efitz, you find the letter Hey. You skip 50 letters, you get to the word etchem, letter Chaf. Skip 50 letters, you get to the word Yishmeun, letter Mem. What does it spell? Mecca. As we said, it's Islam. Again, in the same sentence that talks about the God of wood and the God of stone, we found who the stone is. Interesting. Right after that, same word, ve'efitz, also has a Yud. 50 letters, you go to the word Shama, get the Shin. Another 50 letters, you get to the same word as in the Mecca, you find the Vav. In Ishmeun, which is Imach Shimo V'zichro, JC. You find his full name inside the very same verse that says who the false god of wood and stone is. It's the only place in the entire Torah that you find it, and it's in the very verse that describes them literally. Before I saw this video, I saw other codes that were very, very interesting. And to me, this was extremely impressive, and the other codes he mentioned from the Rambam and several others were very, very good. But to her, she converted on the spot. That was the sign, that was everything. That was Har Sinai. That was the Exodus. That was everything. She took everything on instantly. Baruch Hashem, we continued studying. Shortly later, she converted, went to the Beit Din. We had a chuppah the same day just to make sure it's kosher. Same day she converted in the morning. A few hours later, chuppah, kiddushin. A couple days later, Israel, covered hair, tzniut, everything. Prayers every day, limud Torah, something. Now I know why the Satan was working so hard. And that's when the miracles began. Miracles continued to happen. My health continued to improve. As obviously you see me today, you don't see me twitching, clenching my fists, or yelling or screaming. 99% perfect. From time to time there's some pain, but it's Gan Eden next to what we had in the past. But I still, as I was doing tshuva, I still had to pay the bill for the past. When you earn money and you don't do the right thing by it, and you make it your life, Hashem has to show you that money is nothing. You can't be cheap with Hashem. Because in reality, He gives you 100%, and He says, I gave you 100%. What did you want? 50,000? I gave you 50,000. You wanted 100,000? I gave you 100,000. You wanted $1 million? I gave you $1 million. What did you want? I gave it to you or no? Give me 10,000 back. Give it to my people. Give it to the tzaddikim. Give it to Tamidim Chachamim. Give it for Torah. Don't give it to the casino. No, Hashem, I know you gave me the 100,000 last month, but this month is really tough. It's really tough. Okay, so you know what? Don't give me the 10%. I'll just take the 90 back. So you switch. You're left with the 10%. That's exactly what happened to me. Everything was lost. But each time it was lost, I continued to learn Torah. And just like I was obsessed about Torah, about finding the truth for myself and for my wife, I fell in love with Hashem. When I left New York just a couple of years ago, I still had a small part of my business, I had a small fund, still had a few $100,000 left of my own money. I lost 80% of whatever I had maybe $1 million, $1.5 million the year before. I lost 80%, it was a bad year. Still had a couple $100,000 left. Now if you lose 20 million and it goes down to $1 million, it hurts. If it goes from $1 million to 200,000, it actually hurts more. Because 20 million to $1 million, you're still living technically the same life. You're still okay. You're still not necessarily begging for change. But you go from $1 million to 200,000, you have to change life. You have to change your life a little bit. Now what happens if you lose the last couple of 100,000? It depends. Do you have emunah? Do you believe in God? Net, 100% God exists. Can anyone raise their hand and tell me I 100% believe in God? He created the heaven and the earth, oversees and responsible for everything, and I have no doubt. It's a tough question sometimes, especially when you're going through hell. But this is what God wanted me to do. He wanted me to get to a point where I have to believe in Him. I can't tell you I'm a tzaddik or even a chacham or anything. The one thing I work on a little bit is emunah. And if you want to get emunah, you have to work on it every day. It's like a muscle. But how do you work on a muscle? By ripping it apart. Same thing with emunah. Same thing. But I'll give you a secret of how to get to emunah, and I'll tell you just the first step of how I got to some emunah.